that we're supposed to read already, and now I'm reading them for a second time.
Good.
And now that I'm doing that, this section that we're reading is starting to resonate with me and make a lot of sense to me this time.
Okay.
Easier than the chapters before, for
Good.
some reason.
Great.
Maybe it's just clicking.
Yeah, maybe it is just clicking. Looks like Susan is here. Great. So what I'd like to start with, I want to just start with the broken rings and from just polishing. I just want to do some polishing for a moment because we'll come back to it. And so, I want you to feel a couple places in your feet as we're doing this, all right? So as we're polishing, as we extend, as we do this part, extending out, feel into your heels and then feel into your bubbling well. And you pass right through the center of the foot. I just want you to note the center of your foot as well. Just becoming aware of the feet bottoms. Let's try the pelvis. See how low you can go. See if you can connect with your fingers almost with the coccyx, the level of the coccyx. The coccyx and sacrum and pelvis, they're all pretty stable during this right now. And then the itty bitty circle. See how small you can make this circle. This is really important for push hands. Managing, how do I want to say this? Managing scale and how scale changes depending on how you're grappling with somebody. Now I would just want to add in bending, straightening, bend, straighten. See about, with your mind, letting your mind do bend and straighten on Zongding. Center. Feeling your feet bottoms, how it's affecting your feet bottoms. Just continue on doing that for a little bit. I just want to observe. So what's happening in the feet and how does that, I've got Allie spooled up right now. You can watch her if you need to, but just I want you to feel the relationship of what's happening in the feet, what's happening in the rings, what's happening with your mind on Zongding. Okay, thank you very much. And Felix, would you mind, I'd like to move it around a little bit today. Felix, could you please start with, I want to do the one hand cycle of the cloud hands. You can start up or down, doesn't matter. So, yeah, go ahead. That's good. So at the beginning with this, so keep going, Felix. Let me just talk while you do it. I really want you to separate the effects in your body and see what's happening in the 4 points. Identify the 4 separate jings. The key to this one, I see some of you guys aren't using all of your waist turn. Really turn all the way. So you can use the waist turn. And also shifting your weight all the way. Shift it completely to one side or the other. So, Anne, you're backing up before you complete the turning of the waist. So,
my timing's off.
yeah, so come all the way over. Come all the way over. Keep going. Don't back your body up yet. Keep going into the front leg. All the weight in the front leg. See the difference?
Yes.
Yeah, all the weight in the front leg and then shift weight. Don't turn your waist so readily. So first, shift weight all the way through.
So all my weight on the front foot.
Yeah, all the weight on one side or the other. Some of you are backing up while you're shifting, and that's okay eventually. I'd like you to be able to segregate it right now. So I'm going to just go on. So what I'm seeing is people are kind of already going, as on is going, they're already kind of shift, they're already, so let on happen, then turn, let tongue happen. So
wait a
really
minute,
kind of connect the rising with what's happening in the legs. Then the turn, and then down. So as you go down, don't turn right away, okay? Try to just hold on to this, then turn. So try to separate weight shifting and waist turning. Try to just do that. Let's try the other hand. So wait till you get the weight shifted. It's 100% shifted, okay? So if you're coming over to this side and already backing up before this happens, no good. So once you get over here, the backing up generates the down. The change in the leg generates the up and down. Keep looking into your body. Try to be really articulate with this. I'm sorry to be a stickler, but be articulate. I'll spotlight Rick for a little bit. So you're backing up to Rick before. So right there, you're okay. That's good. That's good. That's better. Yeah, good. Try. Good. Excellent. Okay. Super. So try to make the weight shift happen, and it creates the action in the arm right away. The hand should be basically on the center line, either right on the heart or right on the dantian, pretty much the whole time. It can travel off to the channel, but don't let it go outside the channel. And turn your waist more at the end. Turn your waist.
Okay.
Turn. You got more turn.
More?
Yeah, as much
But
as
then
you
I
can.
thought I was getting off the 4 points there.
No, well, don't twist. You're right, but you've got more. So I think if you squat in your quad, you'll be able to turn more. So this does open the hip. This opens the waist. That's better. So as you develop this, you see, okay, guys, rest for a second. So one of the things that gets developed in this is the qua. How does the qua open? So as I'm coming through, if it feels like, oh, this is all I got, no, you got way more. You got way more because of this, because of grabbing here. Watch too that as you go here, don't collapse this leg, okay?
So you can almost go to the side wall. Is that what you're saying, Bill? You can almost.
So I want you to turn waist to your maximum without breaking the 4 points. So we're not just sliding back and forth in here. We're training the elasticity and the nimbleness of this area, the pelvis. And so when I get here, do I have any more? Well, look in here. Where you look is here, not up here, okay? Look in here. Everybody go to what you think is your limit on the left side. Let's take a side, doesn't matter. And then I want to get more turn, suck in at the quad and see what that does. As you suck in at the quad, don't collapse the off knee. So as I suck in here, don't do this. Don't lose your perineum. Don't lose the openness in the perineum. Suck in here and then open again. Come through. You get to about here. How do I get more? Suck in here. And boom. So train by pulling in here to get more turn. Do that a little bit more. See if you can notice a difference. Go to Allie. So don't start changing your weight without shifting your, don't start changing the hand. That's good. That's beautiful. Yeah. Really be clear on this one. This is an easy one to lose separating yin and yang on, just because it feels so natural to spin around like this. So don't back up yet, Anne. Get all the way.
Timing's all off for
Yeah.
me.
So just, you can connect with Allie again. Allie, come all the way over to your right and stop.
I'm trying to follow her.
Get all your weight there. Yeah, so she's not even totally weighted. So be totally weighted on one side. Okay, so you can lift up the foot. So the foot is empty. Okay, this is the first level of separate weight. Then separate the weight, shift the weight, and drop the hand. That hand rides, that energy rides. Then turn the waist. Come to the other side and stop and test the foot. Yeah. So do this for a while. Test the foot, and you'll see if you're not separating the weight. Okay? Separate the weight. Separate yin and yang. This is an easy one to get bad habits on. Okay, so that's good. That's good. So this will show in the, let's do the next thing here. And this is the rolling the ball. It's rolling the ball. And so you guys have, and if you have a hard time with keeping the hands pointed at each other, you can use your ruler.
I've been practicing a little bit.
Okay, so the thing about this is one hand, the middle point, one hand's on top, and then we come through, the other hand's on top. So this is going to be the rolling the ball. And then the other thing is that you can start thinking about the continuous motion of the top and bottom of this thing. So it doesn't kind of go this way, flip over here, and then come this way, and then flip over here. It's producing this beautiful figure eight, okay? Checkpoint is in the middle. Checkpoint is in the middle. So when you're doing this super fast, it's easy to kind of, I mean, you can do it fast and just see if you can hang it together. Checkpoint in the middle. It actually can be double weighted here. Off to the side, there's no weight. So this is, I would call this one on this plane here, the horizontal plane. And there's this kind of figure eight that's going like this. If you think of the Tai Chi ruler, the ends of the Tai Chi ruler are kind of doing this. The middle point is the checkpoint. See if I can even do it. Notice where the hands kind of lose their relationship to one another. So right through here feels like, okay, that's a little dicey. So how do you keep that relationship smooth, continuous, alive? Rolling the ball. Feel it in your feet bottoms. Your feet bottoms can be writhing. Do that, just do that for a while. I want to watch everybody. Looks really good, Rick. So, and stop in the middle once. Bring it down a little bit lower. You're holding it up a little high. Okay, that's good. Okay, great. And try to spend that turning of the Tai Chi ruler equally. So you're not just flipping it right at one point or the other. That, yeah, so making it nice and smooth. Turn your waist. You're just moving your arm. Turn your waist. The center of the Tai Chi ruler associates with your Dantian. Turn your waist.
Still feel like I'm all off timing.
And you don't have to make a big arcing motion like that. You can just be, you can keep it pretty steady.
Like this, no?
So the top of the ruler, look at Rick for a second. See how his arm just comes through, the top arm comes through basically at the...
I can't see Rick yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you look at Rick, his hand comes, his top hand pretty much associates with the shoulder ring.
Right.
So it doesn't have to go much up above that. Now the next thing is try not to arch your shoulder and elbow. Try to keep the shoulder and the pelvis real level still. I mean, he does this. I'm sorry, I'll show you myself again. Kumar is doing this all the time, but look at how stable his head top is and stuff. So he's not kind of going like this, okay? So his shoulders are moving, but this is real stable through here. okay? And his pelvis the same way. Then try it on, try it. So that's what I would call the horizontal. Try it in front of your body. Try the vertical level.
This
Yeah,
one?
yeah. No, like Felix is doing. Let me point her out.
Ah, well, maybe like this.
And notice the figure 8 that she's getting in her hips. One's pulling, and her knee. So the more stable you can make your knees, the better. So Rick, you can just slow the wiggle down. So when he does it, there's a lot of action in his body. Felix has got a nice, stable center. She's turning around her center without wobbling. And this one is not, you're not necessarily turning, you're not shifting weight side to side.
I get so tongue-tied with this, it's difficult for me.
Yeah, well, so slow down, and just the main thing is keep the relationship between the hands. So how does that happen? Keep the relationship between the palms. Rick, that looks nice. Allie, very nice. And the more you can do this without the hands, but really at the center of your being, the waist, feel it in your feet. Okay, thank you guys. That's great. Thank you so much, Felix. Just a couple things. You guys can just watch for a second. So when he's doing this, his shoulders are real active this way. He's not wobbling too much back and forth. I mean, there's some, you can turn the hand. Which direction is that ball rolling going to happen on? Can make it small. You can make it large. So this will be a fun thing to play with over time. All right. Just want to point this out. I had my sword out this morning, and I just wanted to say, what's sword got to do with all this stuff too? And if you think of this, so if you watch my hand and I'm doing something like this one, notice how I'm not doing it, I'm not moving my sword like this. Where's it happening? From my feet and dantian, okay? So when we're gonna practice sword, and I'm making this gentle figure 8 here. This is going right with my waist. I'm not doing it here, okay? I'm not doing it from the shoulder. This is training the feet and the legs and the dantian. So if you want to get with your sword, just start with the same feeling. And this
Well, that really shows the figure 8.
Yeah, really shows the figure 8 in this one. And this is me just moving my arm. Okay, this is me going from my feet. This becomes a joint. It connects with this here. This connects with what's happening in my dantian. You see how they relate? It's not about this. It's about this joint working with dantian. So this is how you start extending your Shen and the E outside of your body into an object. But it also creates this great kind of quality of connecting. Say somebody's pushing on me. I'm not working right in here, which I can. I mean, this is the use of the small spiral at the level of the waist. But I can go outside. I can stay, get, if somebody's pressing on me here, I can get around their back and think about that. So one of the things that we're training is how do we get what's happening in the feet up into the hands, okay? And so this is one of the ways. This is one of the trainings. So making this shape in my feet bottoms, let it come out up here. So instead of just, this is just the upper body, okay? This is the lower body with some disconnection. This is the lower body more connected. So this is a way to think about when we push or do something, where does the dissipation happen? Where do I lose the capacity to take what's happening in my legs and get it up to my hand? Usually it's like breaking up here somehow, okay? It can be breaking down in the back some way. So how to just integrating that that's Ben Boshu arrow. You know, getting that stuff to work out of the feet and legs. Okay. Just wanted to, so if any of you are still playing with the sword, it's good to keep, let the sword kind of, the elongation of the arms and the elbow away from the spine, so that the spine is really connected. So when you just start doing something up in the shoulder, it's going to hurt the shoulder. But when you can keep that nice elongation of the elbow away from the spine, then that is the pluck and split that we get when we're polishing, okay? All right. I guess I want to look at, what time do we have here? Oh, we got plenty of time. Are there any questions on any of that? Does that make sense?
I just want to thank you for helping me with cloud hands because I'm struggling to get the timing.
Yeah, so, and you can keep going back to the videos if you need.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, but we get pung and on, those opposites, by weight shifting. We get liu and ji by turning the waist. And just, you can train them to feel them real explicitly in your body. And then putting both hands together is just, the body goes into basically, it breaks the 4 points up and they act kind of in a segregated fashion for the first time. And that's where cloud hands is a paradigm for repeating commencement, but it's more complex, and it uses the openings and closings of the 4 joints of the 4 points, that they do things, the left and right side of the body do things opposite. And just to illustrate that, maybe I'll just, that's kind of a complex statement to make, but I just want to, so when we're doing one-handed, here my legs are closing as my legs are opening as my upper body closes, and I'm turning. My legs are opening. Here they're sinking. My legs are gathering. Here my legs are opening. So both these guys are working together when I just do one hand. When I do when I do two hands,
Oh, I agree with that.
so this leg is doing the on energy. This leg is doing hung energy. Okay. So hung and on, legs are going opposite. Okay, this is where the body starts pumping in a 180-degree offset. So this is just with one hand, this is pushing down, the leg opens up. This is pung. As this leg sinks and gathers, this floats up. So pung and on work and opposites. Liu, I'm sucking in on this side. Both this and this suck in. What's happening on this side? Open, open. So these become opposites, okay? Something's sucking in on this side, something's opening, pushing on the other side. So it's a complex, it feels more, it's complex when you slow it down like that. But this is what we're doing. So feeling that there's this pulling in here, which corresponds to pushing out. So this is going like this. This is pushing, well, this is pulling. Or you could also say this is pulling from here. Hung and on, roll back, and press, U and G. All right, I know I had something else I wanted to say here. Broken rings, open hand practice, bamboo shoot. One of the things Robert makes statement, I think it's in the chapters we just read, maybe Anne, you'll be able to verify. Robert said that Benbow shoot arrow, Benbow shoot tiger, is the gateway to advanced Tai Chi.
Yeah, I saw
I
that
liked
too.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I really concur. It's both, so it's training a biomechanical and an energetic thing simultaneously. Blending those two things creates the strength. That creates the condition where the E and the Chi come into harmony. The E starts manipulating the Chi.
And he said the chi follows the E.
Yeah, the Chi follows the E.
Sorry.
So, and you can see this. So how does the Chi follow the E? Okay, we'll do this together. IYTC commencement. IYTC commencement. We'll just start with the orbs right about here. Okay, and just imagine your mind has come up from around the coccyx onto the front of the spine, and your mind is down on the front of the spine, and your mind is going to move up the spine. And I can already feel this as my mind moves up. There's something that is kind of simultaneously going down. But mind moves up, hand moves, follows it. This is what John called, mind is the comet. Hand is the comet tail. It follows the comet. Mind moves the chi. The chi moves the body. Mind moves the chi. So just we'll do this a bunch. The hands here. Bring your mind up into the heart. Now with your mind, roll it deeper in. Watch what happens to the hands. Roll your mind in. Roll your mind in, hands turn over. Can everybody feel that part?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's super good. If you can start feeling so it's not just kind of coming up and stopping. It's coming up and that what happens with the mind, it goes inside, it kind of rolls in, and that rolls the hand from this posture to this posture. And then mind is thrown out across the room, and it says, hey, hands, come here. And your mind starts pulling your hands to it, okay? Mind grabs the chi, and the chi moves the body to open the hands up. And that gets us to this stretched out point, end of that. Then we throw our mind back in the heart space, say, hey, come back in here now. And the mind go, okay, sure, no problem. And it comes back in. So the mind goes out, body goes out with, goes out just a little behind it. Mind is the comet. We throw the mind out. We can use the eyes to activate the gaze across the room. Mind out. Oh, body go with it. Mind in. Oh, body come in. Notice what happens in your feet. Mind out. Heel. Mind in. Toes. Mind out. Heel. Mind in. Toes. Can people feel that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. This is the pendulum. Mind out. Heel. Pendulum out. Mind in. Pendulum back. See how the pendulum works? It works opposite. So if your weight is in the heels, the pendulum is forward. If your weight is in the toes, pendulum behind. So it's bong, bong. Just do this with me. Your heel, the clapper hits the front of the belt. Toes, the clapper hits the back. Feel that. Bong, bong, bong. So the clapper is 180 degrees offset to where the weight is. Okay, one more time. From the orbs. Just put your mind down on the, just feel for the coccyx. Some things come. Now we're going to work with the, not inside the exact spine, but in front of the spine. The mind's going to move up on the front side of the spine. What is that called? Not the anterior. Anyway, it's going to come up the front of the spine. I know there's a term associated with the body about that.
I think it is anterior.
Anterior, what's the back then?
Posterior.
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 Thank you. That's great. It's going to come up the anterior part of the spine. Even I can read that. That's good. All right. So just feel your mind down. Mind comes up, hands follow. Mind rolls in, hands really roll in. Notice what's happening in your spine. Does everybody feel a slight bend in the spine? A gathering? If you don't, you probably should, because now we're going to shoot and everything's going out and we straighten. Pull back in, put it down. So if you just watch me do this from the side, I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit. There's this here, and then there's a storing. What is this? What happens? What's the G that's happening when I'm, what's the Jing that's happening here? When I
Liu.
suck in,
You.
Liu. And then everything out, G, Chu. Back in, Liu. Okay. This is also happening in this one. Mind up. As it goes in, this is storage. Storage on the spine. Now throw it out, spine straightens. Your head top will pull. Your head top and coccyx will kind of pull as your mind goes, as it shoots out this way, as your body opens this way. Pulling it back in, mind in, body flexes again. And then as we open, we kind of straighten into neutral.
Bill,
Yes,
do you want to keep that bend, bow, shoot arrow kind of subtle physically, or,
yeah,
you know?
don't overdo it. I mean, this is a chance to train it, mostly energetic and training the mind. This trains the supremacy of the E, the relationship of the E, the chi of the body. So mostly I would say use that. Don't think of doing the third qigong. But notice when it arises naturally. We're storing and releasing. We're doing Liu and Ji. Okay. We're using a different nexus for it. We're using the upper dantian, or this middle dantian, as the point of Liu, and it's going out at the level of the shoulder nest, at this ring up here. So mind up. Mostly I just want you to feel like mind is coming up into the heart. It just doesn't come up to the heart and stop. So this is the thing. The quality of your mind is just the same as silk reeling. So it comes up, it goes in, bing, it throws itself out across the room. It throws itself back in. Sinks down, travels down through the body, just opening kind of the body, creating the heaven and earth connection finally again. Mind is the comet. Mind out. Mind in the heart again. So I feel like the mind goes out there, and you got a crew of guys out there, some of your friends, who have this big fishing rod, and they're like, all right, let's get those hands in here now. And so this is the gumbien. This is kind of a gumbien, you want to think of it. Mind is out there, boom, okay, that's going to open my tissue up, pulling me out there. It's pulling to that point instead of pushing. See if you can pull the mind out. See if you can pull the mind back in. Pull the mind out. Pulling is a higher form of energetic and biomechanical synthesis than pushing. Pulling from 2 points is higher than pulling and then pushing out again. Pushing is one of our capacities. We're playing with another one, a higher level one. Pulling from the periphery. Robert introduced this, I don't know, I've been with Robert probably 15 years at this point, and he introduced it, and it did not come right away for me. It's taken me up till now to really work on it. I've been working on this for 10 or 15 years now, just to kind of get, what's that pulling all about? Robert says in his book the same thing. These things do not come overnight. And this is the true dedication to practice. And the true dedication to integrity is it reveals itself when it becomes honest in a way. Like, okay, I'm kind of breaking apart as I'm pulling there. Okay, so let's do it. See if I can do it better, smoother. So there are a lot of folks in Robert's class that would like spiral real hard, and you're doing it outside. And in a way, that's okay to do that, but it's robbing the internal kind of connection that you need to think about, that needs to happen. And the more you do it on the outside, the less you kind of allow for the internal drawing to happen. Let's just do let's see, where else can we see this one really nicely? I mean, it's really beautiful in this one. Oh, do this one for a second here. So let your mind come here, and then let your mind go out. This is slightly different. I want to give that one up. Just stay with this one. This is going to be fine. We don't have to do a bunch of new things. Just play with this some more. This is a tremendous study. So when I do this too, I'm kind of sinking, and as I go out, heels, as I pull in toes, as it sinks down, it kind of centers in the middle of the foot. Centers in the middle of the foot. Robert talks about 3 points eventually in the book. The front, the bubbling well, basically the center of the foot, and the heel. And he calls those the 3 pins, which is different than William Chen's 3 pins, by the way. But these are good points to realize. And the bubbling and the zongding can associate with all 3 of those areas. How do we do that? We kind of point at them with coccyx. See if you can kind of point at the bubbling well with your coccyx, and point at the heel, and point at the bubbling well. Just stop somewhere in between, see how kind of neutral that feels. Try not to pull too hard in the coccyx, but see if you can point energetically and point backwards. I notice when I do this too, I'm a little collapsed on this side of my body. My body sort of leans this way. So let that be a lesson to you too about, you know, the symmetry of the midriff and things like that. Take your coccyx and point at the structures in the foot.
Now, when I
Remember
did
this one
that,
from 10 days ago or so, when we're in like a 70-30 back. Imagine kind of coming onto your back. I got to do it on this side, I think. I'm going to just come on my back foot mostly, completely, you know. And imagine somebody pushing on me. I'm just going to try to, you know, root some pushing on me. And then I want to take my coccyx and point it into the empty front foot once. And so I'm going to be way more stable in this posture. If I just do that, see what happens to the energy in the leg, empty leg. So from a back weighted, take a 70-30 stance, from back weighted, see if you can point into the bubbling well. Can everybody feel that?
Yes.
Can you feel a difference in the empty leg if you're not pointing into that bubbling well? You feel like a switch goes off? So when I point in there, the leg kind of goes like, I'm alive. And when I take it off, it goes freaking, it loses a good deal of its connectivity and strength. It's just, I'm kind of, you know, rocking my pelvis to do that.
It seems like activating the empty leg kind of activates the coccyx from that point too. Like they can.
Yeah, that works together. Keeping, I mean, if I just fill the empty leg, you're right, Rick, the coccyx is like, I'm on, ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, so Robert said that the empty leg is energetically important. Not so much biomechanically, there's not a lot it's doing, but energetically it's got to be connected. Okay.
Like a cat.
Yeah, like a cat indeed. I think that feels like enough of stuff for me, but anybody want to talk, or should we look at Allie do something?
Sure. Sally and Felix can entertain us.
Well, let me just go over my notes again. As you roll the ball, look for the dissipations. Try to keep it smooth, continuous, but don't lose your connection, okay? So I'm interested in dissipation because the best Tai Chi player, the best push hands people have almost no dissipation in them. Whatever they do below, it kind of shows up. But if you push with some people, they'll collapse some part of their body and it's immediately apparent.
I had a
So,
question about the rolling ball.
yeah.
So the horizontal I've been working with, Robert taught us that and I really like it. I'm not familiar with the vertical.
Just-
No, the Francis videos were great.
Yeah.
And some of it, he goes all the way to the left and all the way to the right. And
Yeah, he plays with it. I think you can look at it as he does do weight shifting in it as well, but there's a time when he just stays basically double weighted at the center, but he's still creating this, it's a figure eight that's still happening, but it's right here. Okay. Yeah. So, and I would look at it and he's really connected and he's really loose in his body. And he's a big guy. Susan pointed that out.
Yeah, he is a big man.
He's a big guy and he's fast and you would not want to be hit by that guy. I can guarantee you. I mean, and believe me, all that mass creates the slosh. I can't even say it, slosh. I'm sloshed and I'm not even sloshed.
I can see it like James Bond. Slosh.
there was one thing that Robert did that really I remember most about creating the sloshing. I forgot what it was called. It's in his book. It's the one where he's just like this.
Oh yeah, the turning point. Yeah, turning. Yeah,
People to
yeah.
other people to.
There's another one that we do sometimes sitting. If you're sitting, and you start spiraling your body.
Subtly?
So are you guys on me? Am I spotlighted right now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'll see if I can do this a little bit. So this other, I can see how my hips work at this level. But this one, we would just kind of go like this. And so from your butt, where your butt connects, imagine your zongding goes up. And so you're going to take your zongding, woo, and just kind of go around like this. And notice what happens to stuff in your body. You make it smaller, reverse it. Whoa. I can't really cross my legs very well. But so that's one, two. Allie, we've done that one. Do you remember that? Oh, she might be gone.
No, she's there.
Allie, do you
Sorry,
remember that?
I was muted. Yeah, that does feel familiar.
Where we would kind of, wobble, and then we'd kind of tighten the wobble into silence and still feel. So this had to do with stillness and motion as well. You get all this slosh going, and then you slow the thing down, and then when you become silent, the slosh kind of goes around you still a little bit.
Oh yeah, it does.
Remember that?
So it's kind of like that thing you do with the hands too, when we circle the hand. Is there some similarity there too? When we bring one hand through.
Show me, yeah. When we're doing what?
When we bring one hand through and we circle the hand. There was
Oh yeah, a little bit of that too. Yeah, that's got
it sounds similar.
Yeah, that creates kind of a similar momentum, and yeah, that's true. That's right. That does happen.
Because I think you said the other hand sort of is making a circle too.
Well, the other hand becomes stable, and this is the thing about the offhand. Remember when we did the brush knee the other day and we dropped the offhand and how less energetically stable you felt in this hand?
Yeah.
By stabilizing the offhand, you really connect that cross body feel. That kind of thing too. All right, I think that's, we're about at the end. So if you, anybody statement, comments?
What is the slosh? Is the slosh chi that we use to like pull people in or push them away or?
Well, it's, so Robert said slosh is the yin energy. And it associates mostly with the liquid in your body. And the yang energy associates mostly with the neurological pathways and is more electric and jolty feeling. So the slosh is like, oh yeah, I had a couple of extra drinks last night. Ooh, baby.
You're sloshed.
It's a literal and practical translation. Yeah, exactly.
For the analogy of the washing machine that goes back and forth in the water.
Yeah, that's a good one too. And so the little agitator is like the zongding is real stable, and everything else like, holy crap, we're just flying around over here. Yeah, so it's the viscera and the kind of the liquid stuff in your body that should be nice and loose. And this has to do with sung. The more sung you have, the more slosh you have. Slosh.
Easy for you to say.
So that's what it means when he says soften the bones and the tissue.
Yeah, soften the muscles down to the bones. And this is part of in the classics, they say it's that the eventual quality of the body should be cotton wrapped around iron. And the muscles, the loose stuff is the cotton. The iron is the bones. And so this is a lot of Tai Chi health goes down to bone marrow. And so sinking the chi into the bones generates a lot of this bone marrow health, blood health, hematological health. Circulation is usually associated with that.
We all want that.
Yeah. And I mean, and these things require this sense of sung in the body, just loosening the tension. So giving up holding. And that goes all the way from your muscles to your emotion. All right. I think we'll end it there. Thanks, everybody. And appreciate some of you wrote some notes about what it meant to be part of Tai Chi community. I really appreciate that. I am writing a couple things right now, and I'm kind of curious about how other people see community and how it spreads out into their life and stuff like that. And if you want to just, you don't have to say anything if you don't want to,